What is going on, guys? It feels like I haven't been here in a long time. We missed 3 weeks. There was some stuff going down that I had to attend to. At least 2 weeks. You know, one week I don't know. How is everybody? Yeah, we have a little bit of stuff we can talk about this fine evening. What do we have to talk about? Let's go on the little rundown sheet. As you can kind of maybe tell by this, we got some pro paintball news we can talk about. And I put a little something together about, I don't know, like a players union or something. I kind of want to talk about, like, we'll say pros and cons to those and like what's the point of it, maybe what's holding it back. We had Alex Goldman and Mike Urena switch teams and go back again. Major League Paintball did some changes, and we got, you know, some other random bits we can talk about. But as always, you know, I want to thank BFPgear.com, formerly Black Friday Paintball.com, for, as always, sponsoring this video. And, you know, they always have, like, the cool new stuff on there. I was looking earlier, and I know that some people are kind of on and off about these HK Army RMX bottoms and ears for the ProFlex right here. But I really like them. They also have, these are like custom builds too, so you can buy a whole mask. You don't have to buy like individual pieces. Like, that just looks really good. I really like the Cobalt Dragon. It has those like Dynasty frames on there. You can get them at BFP Gear. They also got the brand new Diamond Cut infamous Geo R5. Check them all out, bfpgear.com. They got other colors of these things too, but they're kind of desirable. So there aren't, like, you know, heaps of them always in stock, so you kind of got to jump on that stuff. bfpgear.com, check them out. There's a link in the description. Help support, you know, the people that help support this channel. If you know you like these paintball things or the live streams, you know, think about checking out bfpgear.com. What is going on? Stuff's opening up I didn't open. Hit a button and software's opening. Yeah, hopefully everybody's good. What are we doing in the chat room? Old Soul? Some brains. Something about Gina. Also to Gina for bringing that hot single lady energy. She's not single though, so there's a little bit of a problem there. Truth be told, I got no idea who you are, but you changed your name. Okay. I don't know. Let's just jump into some stuff. Let's, there's a dog barking outside like typical. Let's just go in order. So we'll see how I do this. I made like a presentation for this like pro paintball. Mark? We made like a presentation for this like, I don't know, is there a pro paintball union or whatever? What made me, what really kind of spurred this whole thing on, we'll start with Mike Urena. Mike Urena last year played for Edmonton Impact, as you see right there in that Impact jersey. But earlier, was it earlier this year? No, late last year, so late 2024, decided to go play for Red Legion, go play for the Russians. And promptly decided to go back to Impact. So he went to 1 day of practice with the Red Legion guys, I'm assuming in Florida, and then just jumped ship and just went back to Impact. Which, I don't know, you know, playing for the Russians has got to be different. So I'm not 100% sure why he did it, but that prompted this. Where is this thing though? No. What the heck, did I not put it in here? I'm gonna open like all of these, because these are all the things we're gonna talk about, but why? What is going on? Oh! You guys are killing me here. I know I did it. Son of a bitch. Okay. I guess we'll redo this really quickly. It should not take... Damn, I definitely set this up like just a little bit ago. If you want to like... oh, that's not what I want to do though. You want to like... damn, that's also not what I wanted to do. Alright, guys. Bear with me. We really probably don't need to have this necessarily on screen. I'm doing this so weird because I'm like trying to hurry too, and it's like all funky. But the Red Legion guys sent this to Tom Cole, and then also posted it on like their Facebook page and Instagram, and it's kind of all over the damn place. So let's put this all down there. Okay, well, I'm gonna read this. So where in the hell, guys? Okay, there we go. I don't know what I did here. Either way, let's read this thing. So this is what Red Legion, the Russian Legion, owners and like, you know, team manager sent over to Tom Cole and Jason Trozen, the ultimate kind of like in charge guy for kind of the field stuff for the NXL. But they said, on behalf of Red Legion Paintball Club, I write to address an issue that has significant implications for the integrity and professionalism of our league. The recent situation involving NXL Pro Mike Urena. This matter highlights broad concerns that may be addressed to ensure the league's continued growth and credibility. First, let's share the details surrounding Mike Urena's departure. I feel like this is kind of weird, right? That they're just putting all of this out there. There's no hiding anything. Mike Urena's departure. After extensive negotiations, Red Legion secured Mike Urena's commitment to join our team under mutual agreed terms. He reported to the team, attended the initial day of training, and subsequently departed without notice during a brief absence by our coach. So the coach took an absence? Leaving, whatever. He left only a note at the residence. So he just left a note and took off, I guess. The following day, an official announcement was made regarding his transition to another team. Such behavior not only undermines the club, but reflects poorly on the league as a whole. Red Legion always has adhered to clear principles regarding player acquisitions. In respect of contract obligations, we engage only with players who are free of existing contractual commitments to other leagues or to other teams. So I guess they're only talking to people that aren't currently on teams, which is kind of odd. Avoiding a bidding war to prevent artificial inflation of players' salaries, we present offers that require acceptance or rejection prior to any other negotiations. Which is, I don't know, that's just an odd way to say that. To prevent artificial inflation of players' salaries, we present offers that require acceptance or rejection prior to any other negotiations. So you have to like accept it or reject it before you can talk to people? I don't know. These principles promote fairness and professionalism, ensuring stability for teams and players alike. Unfortunately, the absence of formal league rules governing player transfers creates an environment ripe for exploitation, leading to leading to situations such as the one described above. Yeah, I don't know. We could read this whole thing, but apparently, I mean, really what they want is they want like some sort of formal agreement from the NXL trying to govern player moves. Like on this right-hand side, it says they want to institute formal player transfer rules, establishing clear and enforceable guidelines to protect contractual agreements and provide a structured approach to player movements. I don't know. Promote accountability. Implement repercussions for players and teams that violate these standards or maintain integrity and trust. So apparently, they want the NXL to enforce contracts, and they want the NXL to, I'm assuming, fine players or teams that do not adhere to those. They say adopt a modern governing practices to present the NXL as a professional and organized entity ready to compete on a global stage. I don't know. So apparently, Red Legion, the Russian guys, are just kind of upset that Mike Urena took off. And, I completely understand that. It's like, I'd be upset if, I was like, hey, Mike's, Arena's on our team. And then he goes to practice one day and then jumps ship. And then all of a sudden he's on some other team. I'd be like, what? But, a lot of this leads back, I think, to just players and teams not actually signing contracts. They don't have contracts. A lot of these guys are just like, yo, I'll play for 2 years and you give me this and we're good. But that just all seems weird to me. I think that as a player, I would want that, right? I'd be like, no. We're signing this contract that says that you're paying me this money and I'm going to do this and you're going to do this. So it seems very odd that not a lot of these players actually have contracts where it's if your Arena would have just signed a contract or Red Legion guys would have signed a contract, at least there's something tangible there that proves you have to do something. Whether they're going to enforce that contract by suing Urena, because that's all you got to do. You got to take him to civil court, so they have to sue him to enforce that contract. So sue him and then force him to play for the team. It just gets a little odd. So I don't know. I mean, we talked about having a players union in the NXL before. And like I said, I set up a little bit of a slideshow to maybe talk about just pros and cons and what would actually happen, what would be required to start an actual pro paintball players union. Let's go to our first slide. And so what are the differences, right? I mean, we always seem to compare the NXL, Major League Paintball, whatever it is, to other, pro sports, right? Like the NBA or the NFL gets brought up a long time. But the first little bullet point on there, it says teams do not pay entry fee, right? So obviously to play in the NBA finals, you don't have to pay the NBA money. The Lakers or whoever aren't paying the NBA to play. These leagues generate revenues by ticket sales, broadcasting rights, sponsorship, merchandise, and they actually share that revenue with the team. So any of that stuff that's sold, there's a divvy, and they divvy it all up and spread it out amongst those teams. Whereas the NXL relies heavily on team entry fees and sponsorship dollars. Team entry fees and sponsorship dollars. And we know that the entry fee for the NXL, whether it's that pro division or in the divisional stuff, entry fees is how they make their money. I mean, there are sponsorship things. We've seen some, I'd say, much more recently. We had the Landry Logistics Bunker. We've had Hertz be a sponsor for a long time, a few years now. There's that Southwest Electronics company. But there's minimal broadcasting revenue. And that's where most of these big leagues get their money, really, is from just broadcasting stuff. I mean, the NBA and the NFL have these huge mega contracts worth billions of dollars that are NFL gets those contracts for $1 billion or whatever, and then they split it up amongst those 30 teams. Collecting bargaining agreements and salary floors. Major leagues, so the NBA and all that stuff, have a minimum salary, and then that's gotten there by that collective bargaining agreement. So the NBA and the Players Association, so that union, go and negotiate that. The NXL, obviously, we have nothing. There's no minimum salary. And as a result of that, we get players that are paid all over the place, right? There's a large majority of the players that don't make anything at all. They're sometimes paying their own way to get there, right? They don't even have enough sponsorship dollars to cover the cost of playing the tournaments. So we have guys paying their own way. And then there's a handful of these top athletes, these paintball players that are getting paid, triple figures. six figures. Triple figures wouldn't be that good. You're like, here's $150. So obviously we just have a big, huge discrepancy in just kind of, how much players are paid. How much players are paid, and why paintball, right? Why is this paintball? Why can't we make any money? And a traditional sports format, it's really just because of limited broadcast and limited sponsorship. There are just not enough eyes to get these big, huge deals. And it's something that Tom Cole has certainly been working on the last few years. And when we saw ESPN, there's other talks about doing other like documentary style things that could end up other places. But the real problem is there's just not enough money in that broadcasting. There's also a really high cost, the infrastructure for these tournaments. They have to pay all the refs, and there's all this other infrastructure that's needed to pay for this stuff without any external revenue, as like, Major League Baseball or the NFL are getting. They're getting tons of outside revenue. And then obviously there's no player union. There's nobody sticking up for anybody. There's no collective bargaining agreement. There's nothing that mandates a minimum salary or revenue sharing with the league. Individuals just have to negotiate on their own, right? Like think about Alex Goldman, and he went from AC Diesel to Impact and then back to AC Diesel. It's not like he's got like some huge sports agent doing this. He might have, a handful of friends. There's certainly some friends that are, help guide him in making the right decision. But it's just all on him. Slide number 4. And what are we going to do? What can actually be done? I think obviously they need the money, right? So you're going to build a sustainable revenue sharing model. And really, I think the only way to do that is, make more money. I mean, the league could improve their media presence, which I really think they have been doing, and they're reaching to try to get these streaming deals or somehow get paintball on more screens to try to make more money. And the same thing, right? As the NXL grows and as pro paintball grows, growth in sponsorships can also get bigger. I mean, you can get bigger brands like we've done recently with Hertz. Like I said, it's not just paintball manufacturers. And ticket sales and live experiences, those are something that the NXL is also doing. But obviously at the scale of paintball, they're not making tons of money by selling tickets or by going to that like VIP booth area. They're just not getting rich, which is fine. People, just not everyone's going to get rich, What is this one? We could establish a players' union. A union would give players collective negotiating power. It's obviously not going to guarantee salaries, but at least maybe we could push something in the right direction. But again, that has to have money behind it. You might also negotiate reduced waiver entry or waive entry fees for some of the pro teams, which could be done, really. I mean, we're only talking about 20 teams. So it's possible that revenue could be made somewhere else, right? Say like that Hertz bunker, that Hertz bunker money could go back into the pro teams, and then they could negotiate that lower entry fee. Or we could transition to a franchise model. So the franchise model is what the NBA and NFL do. So they don't actually the NFL doesn't own the teams, but for the teams to play in the NFL, they actually have to like pay. I think this is how they do it in the NFL. A lot of leagues do this. They have to like pay a fee to actually play in the league. So say like, I don't know, some brand new team, like Blast Camp would be a good example of this. Say like Blast Camp gets put into the pro league. This gets a little weird with the relegation thing. So I'm thinking Blast Camp could pay like, a 3-year fee where they have to pay like whatever dollar amount it is, but this is going to guarantee you can play in the pro league for 3 years. What happens if you get relegated? I don't know. And just that franchise fee, I also think it like encourages players and teams to kind of stay longer, because if you paid for 3 years, like a 3-year fee, you're going to maybe be a little bit more committed to the league because we have this 3 years we got to try to hammer out. And that might also get rid of a lot of the teams that are swapping names and a lot of this weird movement that kind of makes it exciting, but at the same time, it also makes it a little bit hard to follow as a fan. I just kind of said all the stuff in there without reading it. Dude, I made a lot of slides. Well, no, there's only like 2 left. This was kind of interesting. I thought about this as like if we were going to actually compensate players like with league minimums. This is a little bit how like the NBA does it. They have like a veteran league minimum. So we could even put these at tiered like minimums, right? If you've played for a year to 2 years, you get something. 2 to 10 years, you could be like that weird in-between stage. Then if you're at plus 10 years, you could be like a veteran. It could be interesting. Team budget guidelines. Each team could suggest a mandated minimums, whereas the salary, whether it's salary, travel stipend, or gear allowances. So like we could somehow mandate that each team has to have like a minimum paying people. Or rather than imposing strict salaries, the NFL could encourage team budget transparency with a soft spending cap. In other words, teams exceeding that spending cap can pay a luxury tax, which gets redistributed to the pro teams. So say like, for an example, if we have a team that's spending like $1 million or something, they could, if they exceed that, like say it's $900,000 and they spend $1 million, there's say like a 10% or 15% tax on that. And then that could go into the lower budget teams. It could go to the NXL, and then the NXL possibly could redistribute that to the lower division teams. Maybe they could figure out a way to use that for entry money rather than just giving, players just straight up cash. The last slide, league supported player compensation. Instead of relying on team owners, the league could take on some of the burden for compensating players by creating a player pool fund. Teams submit rosters to the league. The league guarantees a base payment for every pro player, say $5,000, $10,000 or something. And that's mainly going to be funded by all the stuff we talked about, right? It could be funded by entry fees. It could be funded by sponsorships like that Hertz bunker. Or, possibly broadcast revenue, taking some of that Ghost Sports or that Major League Paintball money and then help kind of distribute it throughout the teams. I don't know, though. I think that we obviously, it made me think about this, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what can be done. I mean, I think the biggest problem is there's just not enough money. And it's really difficult to tell some of these like team owners and stuff don't pay people because they're willing to do it. Right? I know that some of the teams that don't make as much money will say like Uprising or whatever, or even Dynasty, some of these teams that are really just funding themselves. They don't have huge owners. It also makes it just hard for them because they can't afford to really compete and pay these large teams. I just talked about so much stuff that might have been so goddamn confusing, but I don't know. Ultimately, what I came to the conclusion of is that there's just not enough money. I don't know where they're going to get that money from. I know that in pro cycling, like pro bike racing, like the Tour de France stuff, they're kind of in the same situation right now. There's a handful of riders that are making, over $3 to $5, $7 million a year. And then there's other guys on other teams that are making, 10 grand. So there's a huge discrepancy in cycling, and they're also trying to like hammer that down. But they have the same problem, right? They don't want to discourage team owners and people actually paying stuff like that. So I don't know. I just rambled forever. What do you guys think? Should we have like league minimums? And the thing that really spurred this on too is talking about like league minimums and all this stuff is Alex Goldman. Alex Goldman, easily the best paid paintball player ever. I remember when Oliver Lang left Dynasty, and Oliver was the first person, to get paid. They were like, here's cash, come play for the Ironmen. But Oliver got, I think, like 20 grand a year. He got like a $100,000 contract for 5 years. So it's like, that was certainly better than whatever Dynasty was paying him, but not nearly as good as the $175,000 a year that Alex Goldman is getting paid from AC Diesel. And we think at 175 grand to go play paintball, one guy, Dynasty and Uprising, and there's a bunch of those teams that just can't do it. They're like, dude, we ain't got 200 grand to pay one guy. Like, that's crazy. And Alex Goldman also going back. I mean, Alex, late last year, almost right after World Cup, left AC Diesel and also went over to Impact. Went over to Impact with a bunch of guys. Went over to Impact with Rainey Stanzak, Tyler Harmon, and Marcelo Margot. And I don't know, it seems like with Goldman, he went to Impact and it just didn't seem like what he wanted, right? I was listening to him on the Spick and Span show last week. Yeah, it had to have been last week. And it just didn't seem like it worked out. He just seemed like, he didn't really know that they were trying to build a super team. He wasn't aware that they wanted Marcelo, Rainey, and Tyler to go over there when he was signing. And it feels like maybe he had unfinished business with AC Diesel. I think he said he really fit in and really likes the AC Diesel team. Maybe felt more at home and he fit in a little bit better with them than the Impact guys. Which is odd, though, because he's played with Impact for a long time. But it's also another thing, right? Like, it's just so much more money than a lot of these teams can, whatever. Sunbrain says $400,000 base salary for a decent corporate salesperson. Decent? Shit, I could be decent. What are you guys talking about? I don't know, we're talking about tariffs. Christian says, for this to work, they need to be on a major broadcast, ESPN2 at a minimum. Expand the pro teams from 20 to 30, and that could get them more money right there. I'd like to see 30 pro teams. I mean, just in the current format, it'd be impossible. I mean, it'd be like a 7-day tournament, As it is right now, they run from like dawn to dusk 4 days in a row. Or 3 days. World Cup's 4 days with the 24 teams they have. If there were 30, it'd be like, you probably need 6 days. Which is, that's a hell of a tournament. We'd have to completely change the style. But again, that's just requiring lots more money. One way we can certainly do this is Go Sports. If you're not a Major League Paintball whatever subscriber, go subscribe to Go Sports. It can help out some. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I looked at this and kind of brainstormed this earlier today. And this is the first time I've ever thought about contracts and, I don't know any of this stuff works. But I do find it odd that nobody has signed a contract. There's been no contract signed, because that would be the first thing I'd do. I'd go to ChatGPT and I'd be like, make me a paintball contract. That's all you gotta do. And it'll just whip it up and just use that. Because, even these YouTube videos, I've made people sign contracts that are sponsors. If they don't pay me first, you're signing a contract. So it's odd to me that we're not getting contracts signed. Chris Martin, at a minimum, there should be a trade window. Window timelines limits on the number of times a player can be traded per season. There kind of is too, though. There kind of is, because they were going to have to do they sort of do that at World Cup. They do that at World Cup. I just lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? The number of teams. Yeah. They kind of do that at World Cup, I believe, where they make they have to make you lock your roster in prior to World Cup so no rosters can change. And it's also surprising we don't really see that more. We don't really actually see a lot of players moving in the middle of the season. It's typically like at the start of the season and they're there the entire year. I couldn't even tell you when the last time we saw someone like move mid-season, right? I don't know. But then I'm also thinking there should be like, maybe we could have it like, there's no trades before or after a certain point. But I also don't think this is a big deal, right? I mean, how many people does this really affect? It really is not affecting a lot of people. It's kind of like, do we need a players union? Does anything actually need to be done? You know, if you're Red Legion, you know, I mean, obviously, if you're, you know, these guys and getting kind of burned by Mike Urena, like, I totally get that. Because this would just be annoying, dude. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to solve that. I don't know if it's the league's responsibility. I don't know. You know, the league doesn't really control the players. The league doesn't say where you can play or when you can play. And I don't know if there necessarily is. I'm just not sure. I don't really know. Seems like a problem that we're trying to fix that there is no solution for and might not even need to be a solution. Kind of like this. You know, a couple weeks ago, the NXL Major League Paintball decided to introduce or change the division names, as we can see them right there. And I don't know. I think that the idea behind this was to at least clarify the divisions so that like people understood, I guess. But this is even more confusing to me because, you know, division 5, 4, 3, 2, you know, like that's pretty obvious. Like, you know, 2's better than 5. But I don't know if Pro Elite is better than Amateur B or Amateur A or what the hell's Premier, you know? So this was very confusing and they walked this back fast. Everybody kind of had the same take I did on it. And then they were like, all right. We're going back to normal. Pro, Semi-Pro, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, Division 5. Tom Cole said he wanted to change Division 5 to Intro because like so many players try to play Division 5 forever. So putting it at Intro maybe would encourage people to move outside of the Intro division, which would, you know, kind of make sense, but I don't know. It just kind of, I think, makes it even a little bit more confusing. So Pro Elite, Ben says, Pro Elite also sounds higher than Pro Champions. It kind of does, huh? Yeah, a little bit. I can see that. It's a terrible idea, and they immediately reversed it. Yeah, it was like 3 hours later or something. I saw it, and I was like, what? But it's kind of one of those things, right? We're trying to solve little problems. Maybe you see this, and Tom's like, yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but like maybe we're trying to solve problems that kind of don't need solved, you know? Make sure to hit the like button. If you're watching this thing, if you're one of the 86 people, 89 people, you know, hit the like button. Give me a little like on there, you know? Maybe subscribe. Leave a comment later. Maybe, I don't know. Let's hit this button right here and we'll do this little ad. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Son of a bitch. Now we'll just leave it up there. You can go buy merch over at the Paintball Ruined My Life store. There's some hats on there like this one. There's some shirts like these that I'm displaying on screen. That's that hat right there. And you can follow that link right there on the screen. There's also, you know, in the link in the description. There's some cool stuff. Lots of headbands on there too. Does it show headbands in this? It might not show headbands in this. It shows headbands in this one. Maybe not. Maybe I gotta hit the button. Headbands. Oh, I take a, what was it, Costco pizza? You know what I've started to do is I'm gonna like try to eat, well, I was gonna try to do a carnivore. Dude, it's fucking brutal. It's so hard. I'll tell you what, Old Soul headband today, I was a little slow shipping stuff. I was gone for like 5 days. And normally I put like a thing on the store that's like, shipping, we'll ship, I'll be back soon and I'll ship it next week. But I totally forgot to put like a little thing on the screen or thing on the whatever, Check out some headbands, barrel covers. Headbands are actually only $30. $30 in a realm where headbands are $5,000. $30 is pretty good. I lost my train of thought though. I was going to bring something up and I just totally forgot. Let's go on the list. We talked about Urena, we talked about Red Legion, we talked about the Union, we talked about Goldman. Normally we don't talk about European paintball on here too much because it's a little hard to keep track of, and I don't know all that much. But Axel Godin is going to go play for the Rangers. Tell me in the chat, are the Rangers from Warsaw, Poland? I'm like pretty sure that the Rangers are a Polish paintball team. I'm going to keep monitoring the chat. And the reason why this is happening is because the Tauntaun Flingers are playing in the US. So they're devoting all their time to playing the NXL in America, Ranger Warsaw. Yep, so the Tauntaun are playing in Europe, so that frees up some of their guys. So obviously, Axel Godin, one of the better players in the world, a big pick for Rangers. I just think it's kind of funny because normally we always see, Axel's constantly playing with the Tauntauns. So it's just kind of interesting to see Axel move over to the Rangers. This is also something, we'll just run through everything real fast. Well, sort of real fast. This is also something that I've been talking about for goddamn ever. I think that I've been telling paintball companies to do this for since we started this channel. Yep. What seems like 15 years ago. Matt the Gym Rat is going to be, we're going to say, a JT athlete, which is kind of cool. We don't have a lot of individual sponsored players. I mean, most of the people that are playing paintball, are all on teams and using the sponsorships for those teams. So, if you're on Dynasty, you got, whatever sponsors. So it's really cool to see that JT sponsoring individual people. It does say exclusive clothing and apparel collection. So I assume they're going to make another deposit Matt the Gym Rat merch for sale, JT merch. Really cool. I always thought that HK Army should have done this with a handful of other people on the internet. And, one of these days, hopefully I can make some money at paintball too. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. So it's just really neat. They also added Dan Shelley. He started the Shelda podcast, also of Shelda Photos. I imagine that the same thing is kind of Matt, right? I mean, they have the exact same... Nope, that's not the right one. They have the exact same kind of exclusive clothing and apparel thing. So yeah, it's just really cool. I wish that, like I said, it's really neat to see these companies sponsor individual people or individual players. Something that I thought would have been a good idea for a long ass time. And we'll come back. We got some other things. What are you guys talking about? Ben Lawton, I thought that Tauntaun's FSU was going to be a dual USC US EU team, but I guess not. Dude, I had no idea. The goddamn FSU thing is so confusing. Because, I don't even remember. I don't even remember who the hell the Tauntauns merged with. The Tauntauns, did they merge with Notorious? Right? Yeah, it's just so confusing because like there's also like there's like two like at one point in time Notorious was called like Notorious FSU, and then they became Austin Notorious, but then at the same time there was also like this FSU team that was playing in Europe, and it's always been so confusing to me. I always get it like mixed up. Yeah. But I think that the Tauntauns were always going to play only in the NXL. I don't think they can afford to play both leagues. So I think they committed to playing just in the United States. I don't know. There's so many teams and so much stuff has happened recently. It's like I like lose track. I just don't remember, you know? I just freaking lose track. And I did have like Fedorov. That's right, Fedorov's playing with the Tauntauns. I just deleted a bunch of stuff that probably had the information that I actually want in there. Who knows? We're getting some H1B visas for paintball players. Yeah, I don't know. What else we got? We have one more thing that I have on my notes. We have going over here. The Summit Awards are back. Super stoked about this. I don't say stoked often. It's probably the first time you've ever heard me say that. Summit Awards are back, this time taking place NXL Tampa, or Major League Paintball Tampa. I don't know what to call it anymore. I don't know where it's going to be. It's going to be at 1920 East 7th Avenue, Tampa, Florida. I don't know where that's at. It's a 21 and over event, though. That's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of lame. Maybe it was 21 and over last year, too. Does that mean, like, some pro players can't go? It might, actually. So if you don't know, the Summit Awards are the brand new, kind of like paintball award show. They took place the first time last year in Las Vegas. And let's actually run through. I have some of the award winners. We can go here, hit the browser. And over here on the still loading Paintball Ruined My Life website, look, you can find freaking headbands. We were just talking about freaking headbands and barrel covers. I'm wearing this hat right now. But these are all the awards. So last year, look at all these awards. We're not going to go through them all. There's a shit ton of them. Look at them all. We had Icon of the Year, which I don't know, maybe is like Player of the Year or like MVP or something like that. Marcelo also got Defensive Player of the Year, which, I don't know, I guess you can define defense, right? Because he had like that good, like, he won like a 3-on-1 or some shit last year to win World Cup, so that was kind of crazy. Dog bark. I had a confrontation with the dog bark people the other day. I might go to jail. Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. I guess there was a tie, but there's a lot of different categories. Not just players though, or not just like NXL pros and stuff like that. We've also got the Classic Awards for the best classic team. Classic Player of the Year was Meter Ninos, which is weird. All kinds of stuff. Classic Ambassador Will Arroyo. Ref Awards, which is really cool. That's cool to reward the referees. We got Media Awards. We got Brand Content of the Year. I don't know what that is. Creator of the Year was Marcelo Margot for the Play the Game podcast. To be fair, guys, I put way more work into this creating stuff than anyone could imagine. There should be like a best effort award, hardest effort, and I'll get that one. Although Matt makes really good stuff, but this fucking Dynasty Aftershock video I'm making, I'm not saying it's good, it's just long. You got scenario awards, there's all kinds of stuff. We got industry awards. We had Junior and Gina of BFP Gear win some awards. West Coast Store of the Year, Extreme Paintball here in Modesto. Well, I'm not in Modesto, but you know. Capital Edge, West Coast Field of the Year. That's right here in Sacramento. That's where I go all the time. Yep, so there's more awards coming, and it's about, what is it, like a month away or some shit like that? March 9th. So we're about a month away. Creator of the Year going to a player-run podcast seems a bit Yeah, it's kind of weird to actually have like... They actually have like some weird awards. I haven't looked at those in a long time. They have like Creator of the Year and YouTuber of the Year is kind of weird, you know? Like Creator of the Year, which is fair, they give it to both of them because they're like co-hosts. But this should be like one award. They shouldn't have like Creator of the Year and YouTube channel. I mean, you might as well have like best TikTok follow and like the best Facebook page and like that kind of stuff too then. I think it should be all under one thing. Although Miko winning something is really good. Because he's actually like legit. Miko, he's the guy doing all the like Hormesis stuff and one of the guys behind the Iron Kids documentary and all that jazz. Paintball Wizard. I've never heard of Paintball Wizard. Paintball Wizard is in Twexburg? Twexburg. New to me. I always forget to turn this light on up here. I'm curious if I turned it on. See the like top down, see the light? Doesn't it make it look better? Tewksbury. I know what we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. We don't got no more, I think I've run the course of paintball news. We'll just kind of hang out and... There was other stuff that happened. Like there were some pro moves. Some guys got on teams. Unfortunately, kind of low division teams. Not low division teams. Just players we're not really super familiar with. So I didn't kind of actually include them. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna look at something really fast. Mike Carroll. Brad, I've always said Paintball Ruin My Life should get an award consideration. You need to get a campaign trail next year. You need to get on the campaign trail. That's the problem. It's like, I'm not like, I'm just not like at all the tournaments and I'm not like on the inside. I'm not like part of the in crowd. So I just don't like, I just don't come up during those discussions. Damn it, I'm trying to find something. I was checking to see like if the coaches show, because there's the coaches show over on the YouTube. I don't actually know if I'm logged into YouTube. Actually, I am. I should be, right? Let's find out. Oh, we are. Because I thought that they were like supposed to go live today or something like that. Oh, they are. Yep, I don't know. That's right now. I was curious. We have dueling podcasts. I just realized I had my heat way down during the day while out, and it never turned it back up. No wonder I'm so damn cold. What'll happen, Ben? I don't turn the heat on much. I leave the windows open at night and it gets real fucking cold inside, which I like. And then I have to turn the heater on for like 30 minutes in the morning, and that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. I've ran out of topics. Give me something to talk about. Let's riff on something. Great. Just says, I just upgraded my TM40 to an LV2 fueled by fire. What does that mean? What the heck does fueled by fire mean? LV2 fueled by fire. I don't know what that means. Does it mean anything? Why can I not like click and copy and paste and shit? What happens if I search LV2 fueled by fire? Oh, that's that like crazy Anna one. That is cool. On the Paintball Wizard website. Is that a Thomas? No. I thought that like Thomas Taylor had a gun that was anodized like that. I'm not like showing you guys though, so there's that. We're buffering. We're buffering, we're buffering. We're buffering. What happens if I hit that? That's not what I want. What happens if I hit that? Oh, that's what happens. We get this cool pop-up. I don't know. Hit me up with topics, guys. Give me something to talk about. Ask me questions about paintball stuff. We'll see if I can answer it. I thought Harris... Dude, I am so confused on paintball. Like, I don't know where any of these team people are. Like, some brains like, I thought Harris still has to play up. Oh, like play pro still? You know, I don't even freaking know. I know that the NXL was gonna do something. I think that they were talking about like making it so that the pro guys, if they got relegated, could somehow get reclassified or whatever to keep them in semi-pro or something like that, which would, I don't know, which would be kind of interesting. Which I think is actually probably good, but it probably matters which semi-pro player you are. Maybe just increasing the amount of points the semi-pro teams can have might be a little bit better. Here's a long comment. These are always weird because I don't really know where they're going. I've been playing off and on since the mid-90s and took my 12-year-old son to the field, cool, for his first game 2 weeks ago. He is crazy about paintball. I'm using an old autococker. I'm using old automags and cockers. Cool. I think that automags are great for that. I know multiple people that got kids to play paintball, like, you know, their kids or whatever, and started with automags. Really, they're great. I mean, automags, if EMEC, you know, anything that's mechanical and simple, just because, you know, young kids, you just want something that works. You don't have to worry about like electronic guns going down and whatever. Dana says, Valken has partnered with Twister. Does that mean Twister teams need to shoot Valken? Are there even Twister teams? I know that there's like, I don't know how that works actually with the Twister sponsors. I don't know how that works. I know that they sponsor like some individual people, but did they like Twister sponsor entire teams and they get like all Twister guns? Because I would assume that that's what it's for. I mean, Valken at this point is not making anything. I mean, Valken's not making like anything or whatever. Ben says, Twisters has Hurricanes, Heroines, and a couple others. Okay. I just didn't know if it was a full team or not, or if it was like just some individual players, or if just the players were buying the guns and then using them. Because like a lot of the times, like if you're like, say, I don't know, on whatever paintball team, say you're on Houston Heat and they all have Luxes. If you sold your Lux and then you bought like, say, an Adrenaline Idol, I think that they're okay with that because you're still using a Lux. So I always thought it was like people like whatever, just buying guns. They sponsor the entire teams. I wonder how that works. Are they getting like free twisters and shit? That does get weird. Because like when you're on like, you know, normal team, right? Say you're on X team sponsored by Planet Eclipse. Normally, I'd say that lower teams, they're probably getting 2 to 3 guns, right? So you get 2 to 3 guns. And if you're giving out like that many twisters, that's kind of crazy, right? Oh yeah, didn't Shock, what's Aftershock? Aftershock's using Planet Eclipse too, right? They left Die. Ben, I think Shock is now 1, but I might just be thinking because the twisters are 99% Planet Eclipse teams. I think that Aftershock left Planet Eclipse. Aftershock left Die though. Right? Fucking, there's so much stuff moving around. I know we talked about that, but I deleted it earlier. San Luis Obispo. Where are we going to San Luis Obispo for? Looking windy and hella shit over there. Oh, that's true. Because the heroines and the twist, they're all like kind of intertwined. That's true too. That's true. Oh, you know what we did? We know it did happen. I forgot about this too. Someone just said limited something should bring back limited guns or something. And it just reminded me of this. The Red Legion DSR Plus, and I kind of flipped this around. That's why like red is backwards. I flipped it because it was like better to see. Let's actually flip it again. Damn, that's not what I wanted. No, why is it not flipping horizontal? Oh, there it goes. The brand new Red Legion DSR Plus. I like it. You know, it really kind of reminds me of the old Russian Legion guns. Also very much reminds me of the pipe, the free flow pipe DSR. These things are $1,600. Where are my notes on it? Yeah, they're $1,500. Take that back. Shit, now I'm wondering, are they 15 or 16? I don't know. I wrote 15, but I'm pretty sure they're 16. $1,500 to $1,600, which is kind of a lot. You know, I mean, the base versions are $1,100. So you're paying $400 to $500 more just for that milling. And the reason I say they're probably 16 is because the pipe ones, the like free flow DSR pluses are also 1,600. So I'm pretty sure it's 16. Where you can get like the Aftershock ones or any of the ones with like, you know, just special anodizing are $1,250. And there's really nothing special about these. You know, they come with the Ironman Pro kit and that's about all. You're really just kind of paying for milling, but it reminds me of this thing. Obviously they look substantially different, but just kind of like the blocky kind of Soviet Union style design. Just reminds me of their old NXT Shocker. These were really cool. You can see the trigger guard. The trigger guard on there is actually like wire. You can see it there. It's actually like 2 pieces of wire. I don't know if there's a clean shot of it. It's not like one single piece. Yeah, you can see it right there. And you can also see that snatch grip on the very back of the body is also wire. These were just crazy, you know. I really liked these. And the more crazier looking guns we can get, I kind of like it. I don't know. Red Legion's got some guns out. Someone just said Archie. Rumor has it Archie Barnes Jr. is going to go to Red Legion. What the hell team did Archie just go on to? Archie Barnes Jr. I do have my mega list of team moves right here. Archie Barnes. I'm going to go to Revo/Arsenal. Ben, yes. Yep. I don't know. Who knows? Nope, Archie posted on Instagram he won't go to red. So he's well, Arsenal's probably red. Well, red Legion. Sorry. I was thinking of red teams and blue teams and green teams. He could go play for Damage. They're kind of like a teal, turquoise team. That'll be interesting. The Tremor NXT was the best. I don't remember the Tremor. Shockers had so much more personality. Yeah, it's because they were letting it happen, right? I mean, they could have said no, and we'd have just got stock SFT and stock NXT Shockers forever. But them like encouraging or allowing teams to do crazy milling like that is the reason we got all these cool guns. And we're kind of seeing that again. I mean, there's so many of these custom, like, you know, Planet Eclipse guns and a handful of Luxes out there, like all the HK Army guns. We have the Project G stuff. We have the Twisters we were talking about. So there's lots of companies that are making like custom milled. I shouldn't say lots. There's probably like 5 that are making custom milled guns. But that's more than we saw in like the last like 10 years. So it's cool. At least it's kind of starting, or they're kind of doing it up again. ABJ and Keith Brown on the same team would be menacing. Yeah, but they kind of play the same spot, you know? It's kind of hard. It's, they kind of play the same spot, you know? It's like, it'd be crazy to have, like, you know, ABJ, Keith Brown, Alice Goldman, Axel Godin, you know? But they kind of all play the same exact spot, so it'd be kind of difficult. It's like having, like, you know, 5 really good centers on a basketball team. Just kind of like... The HK guns are hard to match to team colors usually. You should get black. I really do like the new Lux they have. I forget the name of it. It was pretty cool. Angel Fargoza. You know what I'm working on? I'm working on a video titled... You just made me think of Angel Fargoza. I don't know. We'll just say a working title that's very clear. You know, I don't know. I got a bunch of titles I might name the video, but we'll go with How Dynasty Shocked the World in their first World Cup. And what is this fax thing? Yeah, so one of the, you know, like, one of the craziest, like, controversies in paintball ever. There's been, like, maybe, like, 5 really kind of crazy things. And one of them had to be Dynasty and Aftershock playing in the 2001 Pro World Cup Finals. It was Dynasty's very first year, and it's just kind of crazy. So Dynasty had to, this is back in the day when they used to play 10-man. And in those 10-man finals, you had 4 teams. It was a round robin finals. So you had to play each team 1 time. So you had 3 games in the finals. And no matter who you beat or whatever happened, the team with the highest score in the end of that 3 games you play, wins the finals. And Dynasty and Aftershock were playing, and Aftershock had so many points that all they had to do was shoot 8 Dynasty guys. So they would get 16 points for those eliminations, and that would give them enough points no matter what happened that they would win World Cup. So they just had to shoot 8 guys and it was all good, right? So the game's going down, it's going down, whatever. It comes down to a 2-on-2. So at this point, since it's 10-man, you know, Aftershock already shot their 8 bodies. So they'd won World Cup. It was over. Like, they could just walk off the field, get shot in the back, whatever. Dynasty could grab the flag and go hang it. It didn't matter. Because if all of that happened, they would still be up on points, no matter what. So this happens, the 2-on-2. What ends up happening is 2 Dynasty players shoot one Aftershock guy. So it's a 2-on-1. And then an Aftershock player gets shot by a Dynasty player. He turns, shoots that same player. So he's spun to shoot the guy who shot him. So they leave the Dynasty player in. I know everybody's names. I don't know why I'm saying the Dynasty player. They leave the Dynasty player in. Aftershock player gets pulled. So it's a 2-on-0. 2-on-0. I don't know. So Brad Mon from Dynasty goes to get the flag, grabs the flag, and he's like halfway running back. And they're like, time. But it didn't matter, right? Because Aftershock shot their 8 bodies. It doesn't really matter, right? But time ran out. And in that moment, they're like, hey, he played on. He gets a 1-for-1 penalty. So there's no bodies left to pull on the Aftershock side. So instead of nothing happening, if that happens, if there's nobody else to pull for the 1-on-1 penalty or the 2-on-1 penalty or the whatever it is, not 1-on-1, the 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 penalty, you get the automatic flag hang. So Dynasty, even though that time ran out, they were awarded the flag hang, but it still didn't matter, right? Because, Aftershock shot 8 guys. But as they're taking the scorecard over to the scoreboard to be posted, it gets, as soon as that scorecard is written on the scoreboard, it's over. And that's the score. So you can protest the score, even though it's signed. In the rule book, it allowed for the referees to go back and make adjustments to the scorecard if they realize there's a problem, even after the scorecards are signed and official and done. So Rodney Squires from Dynasty realizes there's a rule that says that if there's a 1-for-1 penalty and there's nobody left to pull, you do get the automatic flag hang, which they did, but you also can, or I should say, if there's a 1-for-1 penalty, and there's nobody left to pull on the opposing team, your team gets the flag pull and the flag hang, which happened. But you also get to dock the opposing team 12 points. So because they got the automatic flag hang because the time ran out, because of the penalty, they also got Aftershock docked 12 points. So because of that 12-point deduction and the automatic flag hang from that one playing on penalty, it actually made Aftershock down 8 points from Dynasty or 9 points or something like that, which actually gave Dynasty the win because of that single 1-for-1 penalty that couldn't be served because he was the last player. So if for some reason there was another player left and they were able to pull that 1-for-1, it wouldn't have mattered because they'd have had their 8 bodies, that automatic flag hang wouldn't have happened, and then they would not have gotten docked 12 points. So it was kind of it was a big deal. It was a hell of an uproar. Aftershock was all upset. They actually ended up getting rid of that 12-point rule the next season to make it kind of more fairly reflect it, so that if you did get the 1-for-1 penalty and there were no players left to pull, you actually would be awarded 2 points rather than just some random 12. So that's what, that made any sense. That's what the new a new video is going to be on fairly soon here. It's all filmed and I'm editing it right now. But it was a big deal. Steve John says, what about Infamous vs. Dynasty World Cup match? I don't even remember. I don't know. That sounds like something I don't remember. Wish I could tell you. Another big scandal. The following year in 2002 was Jeremy Salm. I'm pretty sure it was on Avalanche at the time, was shooting from the woods and stuff. Yep, some brands. Would you say, to be fair, with 2 seasons after that event, machine gunning dudes into the ground became the way of it? I don't know. Yeah, it's weird explaining the point system to people too, because a lot of people don't even like, they're like, you got points for pulling the flag. Like, a lot of the new people don't understand that you had to like grab the flag and run the flag all the way back to the other start gate. So that's what it is. There are some videos online, like I'm going to, whoop. There are some videos of this online, but one of the problems is that, like, I don't know, it's not like super clear a lot of the time what is actually happening, but this is actually that match. And I would highly, highly recommend, if you guys go to Trauma Head, go, not apply, but go subscribe to the Trauma Head like YouTube channel. There's a lot of good videos on there. They're constantly uploading new stuff too. And really without them like, you know, saying I can use this footage, and without them filming it originally and then putting it up on YouTube, you know, we couldn't be even watching any of this stuff. But where is my mouse? God damn. But that's what it's about. Hostility Trauma Head is a great channel on YouTube. They really are. It's basically a channel of paintball history. That's exactly what it is. See, we have Rodney Squires right there. There's some weirdness that goes on a lot. There's a lot of cheating that happens. That is Richie Malachevsky right there in that center little big boy. He gets shot in the hand right there. See that hit in his hand? He looks over and he's like, it's all good. He's just gonna play with that huge hit on his hand. But what's crazy, you know, is he doesn't get a penalty for this, right? There was no penalty for that. He just got pulled out. And then Angel, bang, gets shot in the arm, and he's like, well, I'll just go into the bunker real fast. Getting rid of it. He's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I didn't get shot. Like, yep. It's me just playing out here. We're not going to watch this whole thing. Do head over and, you know, do subscribe to the Trauma Head thingy, my bobber. Yep. What's that name of the bunker? A big boy. I don't know. This was before Wasp boards existed. Yeah, you know what I thought was kind of crazy too is like, they're still shooting super fast. You know, it was really difficult back in the day though, because like, you know, nothing had like, we just didn't have hoppers to feed fast enough. I think most of the guns could shoot fast, but like, look at Rodney shoot right here. You know, I mean, that's not insane, but that's like, you know, 10 balls a second, 11 balls a second or something, like shooting fast. And everyone's got a shitload of paint too. It's like everyone takes out like a ton of paint still. I don't know if there's like pictures of back players, but everyone's got shitloads of paint on them. That guy might not. That's Kenny Clamper. He might not. Yeah. Hit me up with paintball questions. Make sure to like the live stream. If you're here, you know, it's really helpful and people actually like the live stream. Go ahead and use the chat spuriously. Yeah, man, wasp boards were crazy. Wicked ass sports. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, really, Aftershock is probably the team that encouraged most of us to start shooting a lot of paint. I think it was in the mid, like, 2000, not 2000, like 95, 96 or something like that is really when they started, like, just shooting a lot more. WGP is being revived by autococker parts. What do you mean? Is the autococker parts like the website? Wicked Ass Sports was a different company. I don't think so. I'm like 99.99% sure that they made the wasp boards, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like kick-ass paintball products. Google it. Wicked. Well, the problem is I mean, you know, none of this shit's gonna show up because Wicked Ass Sports hasn't been a paintball company for like a bagillion years. I don't know. I think it's Wicked Ass Sports. Like, what's this saying right here? Like, if we go to Wicked Ass Sports, Wicked Air Sports, there we go. I was wrong. That 0.001%. Wicked Air Sports. Wicked Air Sports, still the fastest tournament legal boards in the world. That's funny. Wicked Air Sports. Maybe I was thinking of like, Wicked Ass Sports. Is it really a butt plug company? Because I literally put Wicked Ass Sports in the thing and it corrected it to Wicked Air Sports. Yeah, there's no butt plugs anyway. You do it right. I was thinking probably of like, kick-ass paintball products. Those, Cap is heavily featured in this, kick-ass paintball products is heavily featured in, this, Dynasty Aftershock thing. Yeah, the website. The guy who owns it got the rights to remake a lot of classic autoconquer bodies. Huh. Do you even have to? Because they didn't ever patented the design. I wonder what's going on there. Because the whole reason why we got so many autocockers is because they never patented it. So you could just make cockers. Like, nobody had to, like, do anything. You could just make whatever you wanted. So I wonder what they're actually doing with WGP. The Kraken? What are we talking about? Huh. I don't know. Old stuff that I don't know anything about. I don't keep up on a lot of that stuff either, you know? Like, I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, what was I talking about earlier? I was talking about earlier about me going, trying to be like carnivore diet. I do think I feel better not eating carbs. I haven't eaten vegetables really in like the quantities that I used to. I used to eat like bowls of vegetables. I haven't really done that. I don't know. Although like real carnivore is fucking brutal. It's really hard and it's not very good. So, you know, I've done like 20% carnivore or something like that. And I don't know. I feel that like, I don't know. I do definitely not feel as hungry. I don't know. I just think that like eating more protein is really what it's done. And like good quality protein, like actual protein. Somebody says veggies are good for you. I don't know. Yeah, my shits so far are okay. No, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really notice. Is the carnivore the marker or the diet? The diet. Yeah, I just think that maybe I'm maybe not carnivore, but like, you know, definitely me. I've never ever gotten enough protein. You know, ideally I'm probably eating 150 grams a day of protein. And like, you know, I wasn't even close to that. So I just think eating more like good protein is good for us. I don't know. It's so confusing, you know, like it's so difficult, you know, because for so long we've been told that fat is bad for you and fat's not bad for you. It's like vegetables might be bad for us. Fruits might be bad for us. We definitely know grains are bad for us. I don't know. We just don't really process these things, I think, like we're supposed to. Jacob Compton says, shout out to BFP gear. Well, I appreciate you know, using BFP gear. I just got my Ether 3M for them super fast shipping and included a free microfiber bag. They pre-installed the accented grips and bolt cover on the Speedster package. Well, that's cool. Because that's like actual work. You know, someone actually had to take shit apart for you. Cool. Yeah, BFP gear, I mean, I've known them forever, so they're one of those companies or one of those people that, you know, obviously I don't have lots of sponsors on here, so any support for them or supporting them certainly helps support this channel too. You know, you could use the links in the description of this video. It's even more helpful. Hostility, they say the Mongolians were bigger and stronger than the Chinese during those times due to mostly a meat diet. I mean, I could see it. I mean, what the hell were Mongolians eating? Yaks? China was probably eating like lots of rice. Some like birds or something. I don't know. Tyler says, I'm thinking about trading my TM40 for an Adrenaline CVO/XLS. Do you think it's worth it? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, the TM40 is a better gun. Like, I would rather the TM40. I would rather the TM40 just for ergonomics. Just because it feels better in my hands. God, I was eating chili. I made like fucking a shitload of chili last night. Keep burping up chili. Yeah, I mean, seriously, just because the ergonomics, I think I would rather go with the TM40. But I think if you're able to trade it for and it comes with the mechanical frame and it's just like a straight across trade, I could also see that too, right? I mean, because the TM40, if you don't have the mechanical frame, I mean, if you get the Adrenaline and it comes with the mechanical frame as well, you could have a mechanical gun and an electric gun. So that's also going to matter. And there's really not a lot of performance difference between those guns. Like, I would say that they're pretty goddamn identical, probably. I mean, most of the guns in the last 10 years, 15 years, all shoot well. It's just kind of up to preference. I mean, some of them might be a little more reliable. Some of them might have a like higher resale value. One might be a little quieter, but then the other gun might be a little more air efficient. There's just like minute differences. Yeah. So it really is kind of just preference. I don't know. That's not a very good answer, but some chili. I don't know if it's cold. It was like 60 today here, 60 something. It's 61 degrees outside currently. Do you know where it's been cold? It's been cold everywhere. Hopefully you guys aren't getting deported or anything. The world is crazy. It's a little bit warmer. At least it's not 30 degrees. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do if it was 30 degrees outside. I might go inside and never go back outside. What else can we talk about? Looking at stuff, seeing what it is. Immigration raids at the paintball fields. There are some serious Trumpers in paintball. Yeah, but there's like serious, you know, Trump people everywhere. There's serious like Biden people everywhere. There's serious, you know, whatever. Whatever. There's stupid people everywhere. That's all that says, is that we're all kind of stupid. We're all getting scammed. This Elon thing, though, I mean, Elon's fucking crazy. I'm full on board with him, like, dying in a train crash. I just wish that we could, like, elect our government officials, that's all. Just elect the government officials. Double strap or single? You know, I never really understood the double strap. I'm much more of a single strapper. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with like a masks coming off. I don't have like a fear of the mask coming off. I kind of think that the new, like the Bunker King Virtue quad point, do they call it a quad point strap, where it's the same thickness of one strap, but they like cut it down the middle so it like separates and it's like just two thin straps. That's actually kind of cool. But I've never really had a need to like double strap a mask. I don't know. I guess maybe if I'm diving a lot and I'm afraid of it coming off, that might be a problem, but I'm not, you know, I'm just not having that problem ever. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of like the, like, I kind of like the Bunker King one, though. That's kind of cool. Kind of like that. I've never worn a chin strap. Just never have done it. I mean, ever since like the chin strap rules came into like effect, I just have not played a tournament. So, yeah. Chris Martin says, set the LV2 stock settings, heavy hammer. You know, I was never one of those guys. I was always like, stock. Whatever the goddamn thing ships with, that's what I'm leaving it at. I just want the, like, most reliability. And I just feel like stock is reliable. Not that, like, you said to change the settings. But, are Proflexes overrated? No. I mean, I don't know, you know? The Proflex is popular for 3 reasons. It's trendy, right? There's a trend right now for the Proflex. I mean, yeah. 10 years ago, nobody was wearing the Proflex. 2015? Yeah, nobody was really wearing the Proflex 10 years ago. Although it's been out for like 40 years, it like wasn't popular for 15 years there. It probably lost popularity in 2007 or something like that, 2008, and then kind of came back like 5-ish years ago. So it's certainly like trendy and like people get it because it's like the mask to have right now. It's like cool, you know, which is whatever. It's not bad. It's not a bad mask. It's extremely breathable. So it's the most breathable mask, along with one more. And it's just comfortable. I mean, it's extremely lightweight. I think someone said light. TJ said light. It's lightweight. It's comfortable. So I was going to say 3 reasons. It's trendy, it's comfortable, and it breathes well. But there are kind of 4. TJ said customization. For sure, there's no other mask that you can customize, like that. There's all kinds of stuff now. They have like cool metal, screws. There's company making aftermarket screws that are cool. You can get different bottoms. You can get the JT bottom. They just did, HK Army came out with these RMX bottoms that you can buy individually. You don't have to buy it with a whole mask like these are. You can buy like just the bottom. You can buy all kinds of different goggle frame colors. You can buy different straps. There's all kinds of different lenses you can buy. So it's very customizable. So I don't really think it's like over hyped necessarily. It is a good mask. I think once we start reaching, hostility, damn those prices. But that's because of the HK bottom, really. I mean, just the bottom's $80 for the ears, and the bottom's $80. So you put a frame on there, and it's expensive. I think that when they're in that like $80-ish, under $100 price, it's good. For me personally, once we start getting over that really high price, is where I kind of lean toward the carbon masks, really. The Carbon Zero is at that $200 price. It's also very lightweight. It's also breathed really well. There's some over there. They also breathe really well. But then you can take the lenses out way easier. You can take the mask, like earpiece, you can take the whole mask apart way easier than you can on the ProFlex. Disassembling the ProFlex is probably like the worst part about it. Whereas these other masks, come apart way easy. That's all. The Bunker Kings CMD goggle in Desert Black is what I'm waiting on. Black Desert. I don't know what the desert part is. Black's cool though. Chris Martin says, HK has enough money to sponsor Paintball Brew in my life with the markup of those masks. Yeah, they do. They do, for sure. They could just not have Lamborghinis. They have like Lamborghinis and shit in their like fucking Instagram posts. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Lenses have also gotten insane too, right? Like lenses have gotten so expensive. We use the BFP website, but let's actually do it like this. Is it going to be under masks? There we go. Like lenses have just gotten crazy. I remember when these were 25, not these ones. Oh, that's not bad. Never mind. JT lenses aren't that bad. I thought they were like way more expensive now. What's going on? Maybe I'm thinking about like goggle straps or whatever, but I remember when these were $25. I'm thinking about all the other lenses and stuff, like the dye lenses and the V-Force lenses have all gotten like really expensive. Titanium Chameleon. $50. Like, why am I thinking lenses are like $65 and shit? Maybe it's just all the like HDR lenses from V-Force? They're just crazy on sale. Look, the Titan ones are $22. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking about. I don't know. Who knows? 32's not too bad, though. And I really don't know why I was like, lenses were super expensive. Yep. Yeah, this paintball channel needs to get sponsors or we're going to go away. So we're going to start hammering that out. I like the skull. The skull... I don't know, HK, the HK masks, yeah. Hostel or whatever. Yeah, my biggest problem with those is that, like, I don't know, they're so big. Like, I'll show you. This is not a hostile mask, but it'll serve the same purpose. So the same thing happens to me when I put those hostile masks on. So it's really like low, right? Since this mask is really like, you know, it's just big. So it comes down on my head a lot. So I noticed that when I go to shoot, I like put my head over and like, you know, like my tank is here and I like hit the mask. It just hits the freaking tank all the time. So like, it like pushes the mask all like wonky. So I noticed that like I just can't use the goddamn things, or I'm like, because it's hard to like aim. So I need a mask that's like way shorter, so that when I like put my head over, I can like actually look down the gun right. So that's something I don't like about those hostile masks. But that's not that bad because, like, you know, they're selling those masks to like newer players a lot of the time because they're affordable, and a lot of times newer players want Mo protection, you know. Do I fit HK's edgy brand? Hell yeah, I do. What are you talking about? There's no one edgier than I am. I used to be straight edge. See my straight edge tattoos? Looks like you need a Proflex pod. Yeah, I don't even notice that. Like, when I wear a Proflex or I wear the carbon masks, like, I don't even notice, like... I don't really notice it. Whatever. Let's put this on. This is the E-Flex. I don't know, I'm like trying to lean over like I would be like shooting. I don't know. I just don't notice it as much. Am I still straight edge? No. I do heroin now, recreationally, before I go to bed at night. Hey, Brad. Hey, Brad, can we get a let's go? Oh. Nope, I'm not yelling. You know, I don't think I've ever said let's go before in my life. Just like, we've talked about that before in here. I was like, there's got to be something else we could say. Like, everyone's always just like, let's go. And like, I'm fine with that if I'm like, you know, really like stoked on something. But like, I don't know. I don't like it because literally everybody says it. Smoking blunts and crushing beers. I can't crush beers though. I get too bad at hangovers. I can't drink really. I can drink in the day because there's enough time to like stop drinking and then replenish my fluids before I go to bed. But I gotta like stop drinking like 6 hours before I go to sleep to make sure I can hydrate my body, or I will wake up not enjoying it. Let's Go works in hardcore song before a breakdown. Let's go. Not really though. It kind of just like, whoa. I didn't think they were gonna come out of there. Do some nitrous. That's gonna get me kicked off the internet. They're like, he's using drugs. Carbon slide pants are great. Sure. None of those things fit me. I'm too weird shaped. I need like, I don't know. None of them fit me right. Every time I've turned like, or tried one of those on, like, any of them, none of them fit me right. I can't do them. They don't work. A day to remember. ADTR. I think that's what that is, right? They're all right. I don't know. They're like pop hardcore, though. Scuba. You could breathe that. I just did. Tastes fine. Brett needs to wife up a Latina. I've dated a Latina lady. A Puerto Rican. I didn't like the way I said that. Puerto Rican? What's your honest opinion on the CS3? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's got, I don't know. I don't know. I lean toward that, like, all these guns have gotten kind of, like, not overpriced. Like, they're not overpriced. It's crazy how, like, it's just kind of crazy how, like, I was going to say paintball guns really haven't changed in price. And they really haven't, like, guns have not changed in price in, like, forever, We have seen, like, a $200, $150 increase this last, like, few years. Lux's got up to $1,800. They just dropped them down $200, so there's $1,600 now for the Idol. We have $1,750 for the CS3. So we've definitely seen like a couple $100 increase. But this is like the first time ever, like the Angel LCD was like $1,500, and like all those guns 25 years ago were all like $1,500. So it's really kind of crazy that, like, what's crazy too, Hostility, the original Intimidator was, the classic Intimidator was $899. They sold that for $899 brand new. And then the 2K2 came out and it was like $1,200. It was like a $500 price increase to the next model, which is kind of crazy, but it's kind of wild. I'm also working on a Bob Long video, so that's why I know that. Yeah, I lean toward these guns are like overpriced, but they're not really, right? Because that's what they cost to make. It's kind of like, supercars, right? Some brain says the LED was $900. I wonder what the LCD was, brand new. I don't remember. We also have to think that all those guns sucked, right? Those guns back in the day, you needed to buy an on-off ASA. They didn't come with a way to turn your tank off. Most of them come with crap feed necks. They were terrible barrels, so you had to buy a bunch of other crap to make the guns worth using too. And nowadays, you just buy it and use it. You don't have to buy barrels. You don't have to buy anything. You just use the thing. Yeah, I don't lean toward they're like overpriced, right? Because like supercars, like you can buy a car for $2 million. I mean, we're jumping into hypercar territory, but you can buy, a car for $2 million, but it's not like overpriced. They can justify why it costs that much. They 3D printed the wheels out of magnesium, and, the whole entire chassis is carbon fiber, and it's a V12 that revs to 1,500 RPM or some crazy shit. So it's like they can justify the pricing just like we can with these paintball guns, right? Like the CS3 has like, the cool eyes. It's made very, very well. So just the manufacturing is extremely good. It comes with like all this crazy trigger, and like there's all these like grips that come off easy, and like there's all these like reasons why it's expensive, and they can justify that cost. But as time goes on, since like 2007, every year, I feel like all the guns get better, but the lower end guns are even getting better and better and better. So we've gotten to the point where like, you can buy an Ether 3 that's, a third of the price of the CS3. It shoots just as good, right? It's not going to be, neither of those guns are going to be more air efficient. Not one's quieter. It really doesn't kick less. It doesn't break less paint. It's not, it doesn't really shoot any better. So it's like core main features are about the same, right? Where it's like, so it's gotten difficult to maybe for some people to justify that higher end price. I mean, if you can afford it, then it's not a big deal, right? You're just going to probably buy the better one. So I don't know. When we think about those hypercars and supercars, at least they're most of the time faster, but that's also gotten weird, right? With the electric cars coming online, I don't know. The electric cars are becoming more and more prevalent, and they're just as fast as supercars now. So it's gotten weird. I don't know. Gave Youngblood go to court yet? Nope. I actually looked at that yesterday. Something happened. Damn. I was going to try to pull it up, but it might take too long. Actually, I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, it's going to take too long. I'm not like signed in to here and stuff. Yeah, there was supposed to be a court date for Dave Youngblood on, I think, the 17th. I think it was like January 17th. And then when you look online at the court stuff, it says that it was canceled. And then there's like a new jury trial set for like February 4th or 5th or something like that. I'm going to open something. It might whack the computer out. So it got moved back again. Let's look. I'll find the actual like stuff. Man, everywhere I look, I see this like freaking whatchamacallit thing. Elon's Nazi salute. And you know what I gotta say? Like, if we don't think that it was a Nazi salute, if he wasn't actually doing a Nazi salute, what is he doing? Because like how aware everybody is of doing that. It's just like, you just realize that when you do that, you know what you're doing, It's kind of crazy. So what I think Elon does is he's realized that like, all he needs is people's attention and he can get rich. So whether it's good or bad, he just wants as much attention as possible so he can like get more power and whatever. We're not going to get into Elon. We're just the state of the internet. So, all this information. So, somewhere. So, here's the new stuff. So, jury trial 2/3/25. So, February 3rd. Does that say canceled up here? Yeah, so there was supposed to be on the 17th, yeah, and then they canceled it, and then they rescheduled it for 9/15, but then it looks like nothing happened. And I was trying to like look into what some of this stuff is, but I don't really know how to get a hold of this. I don't know. But there's definitely a new date coming up. So that wasn't the Nazi salute, it was like a Hail Caesar salute. But it doesn't matter, like they kind of took that over. That's like me getting a swastika tattooed on my chest and being like, no, it's not Nazis, it's, Hindu. Be like, dude, come on. Like, okay. Yeah, I have a couple of friends that live in Southern California, and a couple of them lost power during the Palisades fire. They live on like the backside of the mountain, and they lost power. Two different friends' houses lost power, and one of them has a Model 3, and they didn't have power, so he couldn't charge his car at home. It was like completely dead. His car was completely dead. He couldn't charge his car at home. And even the supercharger stations, because nobody had power. Everybody was going to the supercharger stations, and they were like 70 people in line at every supercharger station, and then that takes like 30 minutes or 40 minutes every car. So like that's something I totally didn't think about during like disasters and stuff. I was like, it's crazy. Like they couldn't do anything because they didn't have any power, so they couldn't like charge cars or anything. It's really kind of like a problem. No. Smokey the Rest says, driving through Pacific Palisades is crazy. Yeah, those poor people that eat in fire. You know, Palisades people, I don't want to be, you know, whatever, a jackass, but, you know, a lot of those people got some money. And the poor Eaton fire, though, they're just like normal-ass people, you know? They're not, like, rich. But a lot of people in the Palisades aren't rich, too, so I get it. I got people talking about Elon. Yeah, I don't think that he's a Nazi. I think that he does it for attention. It's literally all for attention. You realize how we're talking about it? So that he can, like, get more attention, and then he can spin that attention into power. So he can, like, all this attention he can, like, divert into, like, people liking it and, like, getting attention for it so he can, like, gain power. I think that we're what we're going to call the attention economy. So right now it's like as much attention as you can get, the better it is. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad or whatever. I mean, it's more attention, the better. And that's something that Elon and Donald certainly found out. Which, you know, I don't know. We're not here to talk about politics. I hate it so much. Anyway, I just saw, it's hard to avoid. You go on Reddit and it's like, whatever. I've also thought about like using different social medias. I know I signed up for a Blue Sky account a long time ago. And I was looking into other like federated social stuff, and I was thinking about looking at Pixel Fed. And I don't know, it's really kind of interesting. This like federated social media stuff and like decentralized social media. I don't know. I still think we have like a way to go to get there, but I think it'd be really cool to somehow have that. You know, one of the things I've always worried about is like Google just deleting my fucking Google account. Like imagine if Google deleted your account. I would be screwed. They just delete it. I have no recourse or anything, and that's happened to people. Their accounts just get removed for no reason. Whether it's an accident or, you know, whatever happened. What's this about Paintball Union? We talked about that like a long time ago. Scroll back to like minute 5. Coop BMX. Bro, this is paintball talk. Yo, are you talking to me? You're the one with a BMX type friggin' name. Maybe you should go, what's that BMX channel? Fuck. Our BMX? There's some BMX channel I kind of watch sometimes. Damn, what's it called? This is definitely paintball talk, but you know, we get deep into the live stream at this point. You know, kind of anything goes. Chris Martin with an amazing super chat. Chris Martin has always been a fine gentleman and helped support this channel. Stoked the live streaming is back. Yeah, I just had a little bit of a, you know, I don't know. Appreciate the time you put into this whole thing. Well, I appreciate it as well. No, I don't appreciate my own time. I appreciate kind words and super chats, and you remember too, which is next level. What's my home spot? I don't know what we're talking about. Some people love or hate SCV. I don't even know what the heck that is. Oh, SC Village. Man, SC Village. I don't know. I haven't been to SC Village in forever. I mean, literally. Like, last time I was in SC Village was 2004. I mean, it's been a long time. So like, you know, I don't really have any like first-hand experience. I know that it's called Satcon Village, which is some kind of like Vietnamese, like Vietnam War thing. I'm not too up on that. Satcon Village. I don't know. It looks cool. I mean, it's obviously one of the more legendary paintball fields. It's where like everybody used to practice back in the day. You used to see like, you know, Ironman out there all the time and Avalanche and whoever, you know, everyone used to go out there. Kind of went downhill. They have some of the coolest rec fields around though. They have that like cool helicopter field and like, you know, so the rec fields look cool. Todd Martinez is back out there, I think, running the airball field and all this stuff like that. They put out turf and it just looks really good. It looks like they're reinvesting into that property, which is cool. One of the problems though that we have, you know, with paintball in California, though, I'm going to open up something so we can all look at it together. One of the problems we have, I was going to say California, but, you know, this is probably a problem everywhere. I just am a little bit more aware of it because I'm in California. I live in California. And, you know, eventually this thing's going to load up here. SC Village. Let's look at like, man, we got all kinds of booping and bobbing, all kinds of slow. SC Village, yeah, one of the cool things, they have these like big hills around the airball fields, and you can like walk up on these ledges and like look down into the fields. So obviously a bunch of cool fields. I mean, they just got like a ton of rec stuff, which is cool. What is this across the street? Oh, I didn't even know they had this across the street. Jesus. Huh. But yeah, one of the problems is that like it's encroaching, you know, all this stuff, all these houses keep encroaching where like, you know, 20 years ago, those houses probably weren't even there. TJ with that $2 super chat, dude. Appreciate you. So it's just an issue, you know, all these houses that are encroaching. So hopefully, you know, SC Village can hold it off for a little bit longer here. Capital Edge Paintball Park. So this is where I go a lot of the time. Capital Edge. Damn, look at how small it looks compared to SC Village. That's crazy. Wow. But Capital Edge also, you know, like at one point, none of these houses were here. You know, and all this like suburban sprawl is just encroaching on the paintball field. So one of the problems that we have is just that paintball fields are not that profitable. And if you own property like Capital Edge or like SC Village, you know, sometimes they can't handle it, right? You get offered $10 million for your land that your business makes like $80,000 a year on, and you're like, oh, that's a hell of an increase. I could take that money and, I don't know, start a brothel somewhere or something. So, I don't know. That's all. Yeah, it's crazy the size of SC Village. I just haven't been there in like so goddamn long. We went there for a practice one time a long time ago. Those are my thoughts on SC Village. A city or county can pull your license to operate and you're done. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I know they probably don't like it. They like the when you get that close to houses and stuff, it gets weird. They probably get weird about it. What's about the fight last week at Hollywood Sports Park fight that was posted on Reddit? I don't even know. I saw that. I don't give a shit personally. I think if you fight at a paintball field, you're a low-life degenerate. And I don't even want to watch stuff with low-life degenerates. No, I didn't even look at it. That's probably what I would do. Start a brothel. Some brains. Ooh, a brothel plus a pizza place plus a taqueria. Well, you don't need 2 restaurants, though. Brothel, taqueria. Yeah, I'd rather have a taqueria than pizza, I think. Pizza's good, but, you're only getting pizza, like at least, we have a taqueria. You can get a taco. You can get enchiladas. You got alternative things you can get. I know I'm going to be like, shit. How about a brothel, a taqueria, and a piercing shop? Hostility. I'm about to hopefully get 20 acres to open a field. 20 acres is pretty good. Let's go, man, it's not open anymore. Damn. So I know that, I can tell you, we go back to Capital Edge. Capital Edge. Capital Edge. This right here, this perfect square, right here, to here, to here, to here, is 37 acres. Just for reference. So they're probably using about 20-ish, right? Somewhere in there. You could say this is 20. This is not the field. This is like a storage home. There's a house over here. So it's really right here. That's 20-ish probably. Somewhere in there. Steve John says, I played at SC Village every weekend with Dynasty, AVS. Who the heck's AVS? Stoned Assassins. That's cool. And the OG HK Army kids. I saw videos of all those HK guys playing MPPL in 2004. I was like, wow, cool. AVS. We're lagging. Something's happening to the computer. Man, one of these days this computer is going to work right. Oh, I probably got to buy a new one. Growing up near Houston, there must have been 10 to 15 fields in the area. Yeah, I mean, early 2000s around here, there were for sure 15 or 20 fields within 40 minutes or an hour. It was kind of crazy. I mean, in Sacramento, there were 15 paintball stores at one time. It was kind of crazy. Oh, Avalanche. Yeah, that's the cool Avalanche too. That's old school, cool Avalanche. It was so funny, the Stoned Assassins. It's funny. Chris, Impact was practicing this weekend with DMG and City of Trees. That's funny. Are the Trees playing anything? What are they playing? I don't even know, because they would just play CPL, right? I mean, shit, being able to being able to practice against Impact's kind of cool. I mean, jeez. What is my favorite paintball marker of all time? Damn, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not something new, that's for sure. I mean, it's really difficult because it's like, how do you answer that? Just like what I like the most? I mean, honestly, my favorite paintball gun, I think the one that I had. What is going on with this goddamn computer? Normally Safari is pretty cool, but right now it's losing its goddamn mind. Let's just close it and whatever. How can I view the address bar? Whatever. Closing Safari completely. My favorite paintball gun of all time. You know, I don't know. I think that the one that I liked the most, that like worked the best, was probably the G7, my Angel G7 Fly. It's crazy how much closing Safari, it just works better. Brown? Was it brown? Yeah. Dang, there's no pictures of brown ones. There's a picture of a brown one. I had this one right there. Yeah, that was probably my like gun that I remember owning, that I probably like really liked the way that gun shot. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It did have a bunch of like weird, not available to the public parts in it. But I don't think that really made that big of a difference. But I would probably say that like the Bob Long Alias Intimidator, if I had to choose one gun that like I thought about that was like, oh, this is my favorite, it's probably an Alias. Like, I don't know, like I had one like this is the color that I had brand new. I actually had one before it was out, which made me feel kind of cool. That was back in the day when you could get guns before they were released even. I just really like the Alias. It reminds me of maybe the time when I was probably the most into paintball and was playing tournaments a lot, was playing like every single weekend. So it kind of just reminds me of that, I think. We'll probably go Alias. Hostility, I liked my 05 speed, but my Alias in 2K5 was cool. Yeah, I'm not like a huge, I mean, like, you know, I worked for Angel and was like worked at the warranty center and stuff like that. But I wasn't like, you know, huge, crazy Angel fan. I'm trying to freaking open Safari again. Oh my gosh. Whatever. Yeah, it wasn't like huge Angel guy. It's just for some reason that like gun, I liked it. It shot really well. It was comfortable. It just worked really well. It was probably one of the most air efficient guns I'd ever owned. For some weird reason. It was nice. G6Rs, yeah, I like the G6R a lot. That's why I was like, I don't know how to like say what's my favorite gun. Because it was like, there's plenty of guns that are way, way, way better than those Intimidators. Like, everything's better than the Intimidators. It's just the like, I don't know, nostalgic and like, it's cool. I'm not like that nostalgic-y of a person though. The GAT. I forgot about the GAT. That's right. Why'd they make those? Was the GAT the G7? I think was the GAT the G7? I forget, dude. sea falconry? I play with a classic spider from 97 and put every aftermarket part on it I could. Shot great, but inefficient and slow rate of fire. I had an Angel A1 fly for years. Loved it. I had a fly. I've had every Angel. No, that's not true. I didn't have a smooth body. I didn't have the SB. Yeah, I didn't have an SB. But I had every single other one. Yeah, I had a fly. At least one. I had a blue and silver one. Yeah, it's funny, like my first gun was, or not my first one, but the first thing I like actually used to play with was, what was it? Spider Shutter. And, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I bought a boomstick for it, like $110 barrel for my Spider, and then like, I think I bought like a tornado valve, like the AKA tornado valves, and then like, I think I tried to like hone out the barrel with a drill or something. Tried to do a bunch of that, like a bunch of those upgrades to try to make it better. But you know, in the end, it's still a friggin' Spider. So it's not really that cool. Damn, I was thinking about drop forwards. Did I have a drop forward on that gun? That gun, the Spider came with a drop forward. I definitely had a drop forward on like a Cocker that I had. And I might have had drop forwards on other guns. I probably had one on an Intimidator. I probably had them on a classic Intimidator or two that I had. Those JT barrels were awful though. They did look similar, but they were like, did they have a stainless steel back? I know that they had aluminum back ones for later on, but I don't know if they had a stainless backed one like at the same time or something. But they were so bad. Those JT barrels were terrible. Yep, definitely your ANS Cocker. I don't know if they came with drop forwards, so did they? I don't know if any of their guns came with on-offs. CP barrels and rigs. What about them? The CP rigs? I don't know. Those JT barrels, they were just really shitty. You know, you could even like see like the machining marks, like, you know, they cut it to a point and then like there's like just kind of like riffraff right here. Like it's like they didn't like clean off the edges on stuff sometimes, and they were just kind of like crappy. They were just like made poorly. Red-haired Trev. This guy, hello? I am aware of your angel prowess. He says, Dynasty shot the stainless steel back JT barrels on their first Mamba LCDs. Angel God. Red-haired Trev. So you have like an unimaginable amount of angels. I know this. Come across you many times, or YouTube stuff. I can't open Safari. Fucking computer problems. Thank you, Angel God. Yeah, I was like, the JT, definitely the JT barrels later on were trash for sure, like 2005-ish or 6 or something like that. Then they switched to the black aluminum JT backs later in the season. So that was 2001. We were talking about Dynasty from 2001 earlier. Let's actually test and see. So this first shot right here, we have, hey, there we go. So this is World Cup. 2001 World Cup, far later in the season. And we can see Angel right there using a Mamba LCD with a black barrel back. That's cool. Is that Angel again? Nope. That's BC, black back. Angel again. I mean, this is pretty much all just Angel because it's like he's on this side. So we got Brad Mon at some point. No, there's Rodney. This is crazy though. Look what Rodney's using. That is definitely not an Angel. He gets this shot in on Eric Waterman right here. There we go. Look at that bad boy. Shooting that classic Intimidator. That's like right when they came out, too. The classic Intimidators were like barely out at the time, even. Crazy. Opie's somewhere in there. I don't know. Yeah, those stainless specs were heavy. I mean, at that point, their whole setups were heavy, too. So it's like, you know, they're using LCDs. And they have Angel Airs on there, too. So it's like their whole goddamn guns are, like, so heavy. Any reduction in weight is good. Nowadays, I'm like, dude, heavy barrels are awesome. Because they make the guns, you know, not kick as much. But, you know, back when you were using 14-pound guns, it's like, kind of want to make them a little bit lighter. What I really would like is a 14-inch stainless steel die barrel. So they're single-piece stainless steel die barrel. There was a tournament when Dynasty used Mamba LCDs and an Ironman LCD, stock big block WDP LCDs, Timmy's, and a Matrix. It had to have been 2001. It's just so funny to see like Rodney with an Intimidator. It's like, wow. I think it might have been World Cup. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Oh, there we go, right there. There was also this weird time, guys, where Dynasty wore... See, I think BC right there. I think he's using an Intimidator right there. Or not an Intimidator, the Matrix right there. I think they cut back to him. So this is Dynasty wearing red. There you go, Matrix. There you go. Yeah, so this is Dynasty wearing... look at all those pods. Dynasty wearing the red. So this has to have been that tournament where they were just using crazy. So there's BC too. Bam. That's funny. The only reason I know this is because I literally was just watching this like yesterday. There's a Bob Long part in here somewhere. Avalanche. Bob Long's Ironman. Get Kevin Jones. Anyway. Crazy, crazy. What's the deal with airline food? I don't know. I was going to try to do a Seinfeld joke real fast or something, but... Okay, I'm going home. I'm already home. I'm gonna go do something. I'm probably gonna eat more chili. Chili. Gentlemen, ladies, Steve says, I remember it was crazy thing on Paintball Nation when they signed with Smart Parts. Yeah. I was like, Smart Parts stuff. Fuck. All right. It was a big deal though. I remember like there was being a contract and everything. Unfortunately, I kind of understand why they left Angel. I mean, Angels were not good. I mean, they were trying to, Angels didn't have eyes and all the other guns had eyes, and then they tried to do the cops thing, and cops is good and bad, but it's not good for paintball. So it didn't really work out so much. What's the deal with frozen paintballs? What's the deal? By Jerry Seinfeld. I can't really do Seinfeld. All right, guys. I'll be back Monday, I promise. Anyone ever use a Bushmaster? I've never owned a Bushmaster, thankfully. Ooh. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out. Make sure to like the live stream on your way out. And